What's up, guys? In today's video, I want to talk about my experience with lust and how I'm battling it each and every day. And this isn't coming from somebody who never actually had the problem or did it every once in a while and they're getting on here trying to tell you how to quit. This is coming from somebody who had it pretty bad, and as this video goes on, you will see just how bad that I had it. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's a little nerve-wracking talking about this. I've never talked about this with any family or old friends. There's only one person in my entire life that I've ever talked about this with, and it was my ex-girlfriend. And when I tried to tell her about it, she pretty much told me like, oh, it's normal, and didn't really grasp how much of a problem it was, no matter how hard I tried to explain to her how bad of a problem it really was. So for me, it started when I was young, like before puberty, okay? I remember being like 7 or 8 years old doing pull-ups on my door and feeling these weird feelings, right? And it became something that I kept chasing and kept doing. I remember being around the same age and doing weird stuff with stuffed animals, okay? It was as a little kid, it's shameful and it's embarrassing, but it's the truth. And then as I got older, became a teenager, hit puberty, and found the hub, I was on that all the time. It was an everyday thing for me. Before I would get in the shower, I would go on the hub and do my thing. And it just got worse and worse. Like, I remember doing it in school. I remember doing it in public restrooms. Like, it was bad. It was so bad and shameful. And growing up and becoming an adult, I guess I grew somewhat of a conscience. I wasn't doing it. I stopped doing it in public places. Since being an adult, I've never done it in a public place or anything like that. But I was doing it multiple times a day. And if you watch my video about social isolation, all that time in social isolation, I was doing it a lot. At least once a day, but oftentimes 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. It was bad, guys. It was bad. And I think maybe now it's a little easier to talk about and make this video because I'm almost a month out. This is the longest that I've ever gone without doing it. The last time I lusted was June 22nd. So it has been almost a month now. This is the longest I've ever gone with it, and I'm done with it. I mean, that's not to say I don't still get the urges. Yesterday, kind of a funny story about yesterday, I was struggling pretty hard. This probably was my worst day. Before this, it hasn't been too bad. Yesterday, I was struggling pretty hard, right? And I live about in the center of town, right? I live in the center of town in the more populated, civilized area. I live in a small town, but there's no like backyards. It's mostly businesses and apartments. And so I'm struggling, right? I was already struggling before this. And I look out my window and there's 2 females sitting in lawn chairs in the road. There's an alley diagonal from my house, and they're just like in the middle of one of the lanes, sitting in lawn chairs in their bikinis. I mean, I guess they were trying to get a tan, but it was terrible timing. Like, I was already struggling and I looked out my window and that's what I see. And what I did was I went for a run. I said, screw this, I'm going for a run. And then when I got back, I went back out and hooped around, shot some basketball. And that's kind of what helps me. Whenever I'm struggling, I either work out, I do some push-ups, I go for a run, I will get my basketball and go hoop around. Something physically challenging to get my mind off of it. And something else that helps me is kind of shaming myself a little bit, right? Because it is shameful. And also, another thing that's helped me is recognizing that I and we as the viewers of the content are almost more of a problem than the content creators themselves in this particular situation, because we're not looking to help nobody but ourselves. And without us viewers, there wouldn't be a market for it, and it wouldn't be a thing, and so many people wouldn't get taken advantage of. It's some of the ways that I win my battles each day in this overall war is doing something physically challenging and shaming myself anytime I have those thoughts, and realizing that the viewers, we are a bigger problem than the creators themselves. Even though we're struggling, right? It is a struggle, and it's rough, you know. Most of us don't have malicious intent. It's kind of like we just boot up the hub and we're chasing short-term pleasure. But that's the reality, and that's what helps me, is recognizing that we are the problem as the viewer. And I guess I'm making this video for two reasons. I'm making this video so that anyone else who is struggling with this problem will hopefully see this video at the exact moment you need to see it, maybe when you're struggling, and this will help you to win your battle that day, and to hold myself a little more accountable, because I want to be honest with my audience. I want to build trust with my audience, and I really don't want to have to get on here and make a video about how I slipped up. So anytime that I'm struggling, I will remind myself that you're gonna have to get on there and make a video if you do. And I guess that also makes you realize, that's another thing to any fellow content creators that's struggling. When you're struggling, maybe make a video, you know, talking about it like I am here, and it might help you a little bit. But yeah, guys, I think that about covers everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope anybody that makes it this far is having a great day, and anybody who's struggling with their own problems with lust, I hope you win your battle today, and I hope you win your overall war. We will win this war together. We have to fight it though, and it's not easy, but we have to fight it each and every single day. Take it day by day and fight it every day. Find methods that work for you and stick to them every single day. And it's easy to fall into the trap, the thought process of, oh man, well, I can just do it this one time, or nobody will know. You'll know, and God will know. And that matters more, really, because we're damaging our own minds. We're making our minds weaker. It doesn't actually help us. We're chasing short-term pleasure, and what we get out of it is long-term suffering. So what we got to do is chase a little bit of willing short-term suffering, and in the long term we will have long-term pleasure. But yeah, guys, I hope everyone has a great day. Super nice day where I live right now. Amazing day, just like yesterday. Super grateful. And yeah, I think that's about it.